What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode on AXIOM TV. In this episode, I'd like to address climate change. I'm Jason V. Sarif, for those of you who are not familiar with me. And I'm not saying in this video that there isn't such a thing as natural climate change. It's been documented that Earth has our geological history, that the Earth has gone through numerous climate changes. But we're talking about since the rise of the industrial age and its rapid growth since, and our increasing our carbon footprint in the atmosphere. My issue with that is that I noticed that it's very easy for, I'll say, seniors, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say this, but elder people, the baby boomer generation, to take the risk of denial of the proliferation of industry affecting our weather, as well as influencing the younger generation that they have sway with to deny climate change. They're not going to be around. The baby boomer generation is not going to be around for to either be blamed if they are found wrong, nor to experience the consequential effects of climate change should it continue along the trend that it's been heading. It's almost like claiming we don't affect the environment. The earth would have poisoned itself eventually. If these seniors were at least prudent, they would at least weigh if the risks are worth taking along with their claims. But to me, people like these they're like gamblers. They're like the old people that you see right on the one-armed bandit in the casinos, filling along those rows. They're just putting in their $100 in there and just gambling away. To me, the old don't have a concern for tomorrow. They live more than anyone. I believe, it's my belief that if we base it on logic, the older senior citizen baby boom generation, they're not thinking of the future. And I know some of you are going to say, well, they have grandkids and they have kids. That's not them. That's not them. Old people are concerned about living for the moment, living for the day, living for today. They aren't worried about, they aren't thinking that they're going to live to 200 or 150. They're about enjoying themselves right now. Don't forget our economic system, credit card debt, even our political system. Pardon me. War debt has been about passing along risk for quite a while now, at least since the financialization of the economy in the late 70s and 80s and early 80s. I recall an interview between Fed chairman at the time, Federal Reserve chairman at the time, Ben Bernanke, and former CNBC analyst or former CNBC host Maria Bartiromo. when she pressed him about possible concerns of houses prices cooling off drastically during the whole housing boom and credit boom, and during around those times, around the 2007 area, and he just dismissed her as if it wasn't possible. I think he said something like, I don't understand the premise of her question. And the climate change deniers remind me of those guys that even well into a boom, they just continue to say, hey, keep pouring your money in. There will never be a bust. It reminds me of those guys in the right before the financial crash, before 2001, during the tech bubble. These are the type of guys that even while the crash is happening, they're advising their investors to continue to invest in in the boom. Don't worry, this isn't the bust. This isn't going to be a bust. It's not a bubble. When a financial bubble is obvious. Another example I'd use is the bailouts, the TARP bailouts, using taxpayer money paid to pay out to corporations for the corporation's faulty business practices, basically essentially rewarding them for their bad business practices and predatory tactics. That's what led to the financial meltdown of 2008 and the subsequent Great Recession in the first place. We are victims of short-term memory loss. And it's one thing to do it for the financial markets, which by itself is devastating on its own. That ruins countless lives on its own. It's devastating and destructive. But to risk our very mortal lives, I just think it's not a gamble that we can afford to leave up to the geriatric, to the opinions of the geriatric, or the younger what's the nice way to put this? The younger generation that are influenced by the baby boomer generation, that have not taken the time to think things through. It's just that the argument of let's just risk it. Let's just attribute the changes in weather patterns and the rising temperatures to nature, and not even explore the possibility or entertain the possibility that it could be possibly attributed to human action, our industry putting more and more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Let's just completely dismiss that without putting in any safeguards or taking time to consider things or weigh our options if the risk is worth it. I just think that's absolutely not only nonsensical and counterintuitive, it's downright suicidal. Thank you.